Welcome to Bass Fishing in the Winter, brought to you by Bass Squad. Bass fishing in the winter can be very difficult to say the least, especially if you don't want to go the live bait, typical traditional route. So here are a few of the rigs that I use when trying to catch bass in the winter. One of my favorites is Finesse Fishing. You see here, we just have a tube jig. Tube jigs are great, especially when you have smallmouth in the area, or you're trying to really slow down and imitate crayfish, which are hibernating in the winter right now, which is a great pattern for bass, especially when they're a little lethargic. You get a cold front coming through. I mean, basic rigging, I just put it on this weedless jig head, and in the winter, because the fish are finicky, I attach it to this fluorocarbon leader and have a braided main line. Now the way I work this is I just set the bait under this thing here called the tip up, about a few inches off the bottom, and then when a fish takes it, it will flay. So another technique that I like to use when this is one of my favorite ways to bass fish, especially year-round, but in the winter it's difficult, but it's still doable, and that is frogging. You can see here I'm just running the straight braid to my frog. Now in the winter I like to use bright colors because it's hard for bass to see through the ice and snow. So very bright bottom frogs, and maybe you'll have one come through the ice, but probably not. You can see still putting it on the tip up, but remember, braided line, very important. This is 65-pound Power Pro, so that way when you accidentally maybe snag something such as a ice fisherman or a shanty, you can get your bait back without pissing them off too much. Lastly, when I try to cover water, this is a very traditional cold water bait here. This is just a red-eye shad. It's a lipless crankbait. You can see I use it on this little teeny rod because that's what we do when we ice fish. We use abnormally small rods and stupid little spinning reels. Not sure why, but I was born in Wisconsin, so that's how it works. You can see when this goes through the water, it vibrates. But when you ice fish, you put it on the stupid little bobber thing and let it just sit there. Now, this is a great technique for covering water if you drill about 1,000,000 holes, or wait until spring when all the frickin' ice melts anyways. But we're doing what we can with what we have right now, and that's about 1.5 feet of ice and another about 2 feet of snow. So next time you go fishing and you're trying to target bass in the upper Midwest during the winter months, remember these few baits I've shown you and techniques. Oh, and one last thing, it's very important to bring beer. Beer is important for ice fishing, it's crucial. Without it, I probably wouldn't go. Cheers.